Every day, over 3,000 satellites orbit Earth, powering everything from GPS to global communications. But what happens when that delicate network is shattered by nuclear explosions in space? The fallout isn't just debris, it's a threat that could silence our connection to the cosmos forever. When we nuked space, we didn't just break satellites, we broke the future of space itself. The sky isn't the limit anymore, it's the battleground. The nuked space concept. The moment humanity decided to nuke space, a chain reaction unlike anything seen before was set into motion. The explosion didn't just vanish into the void, instead it shattered satellites, space stations, and debris into countless fragments, each hurtling through orbit at thousands of miles per hour. This wasn't just a spectacular light show. It was the birth of a deadly storm of space junk. Every piece of debris became a potential bullet, threatening to smash into functioning satellites or even manned spacecraft. The problem? Once this debris field forms, it doesn't just disappear, it multiplies. Collisions create more fragments, which then collide with other objects, leading to an uncontrollable cascade effect. This phenomenon, known as the Kessler Syndrome, can render entire orbital paths unusable for decades, cutting off critical satellite services we rely on daily. The fallout from nuking space was immediate and catastrophic, turning the once pristine orbits into a minefield that no one could safely navigate. The immediate aftermath. Beyond the physical debris, the nuclear blasts had a sinister side effect on Earth's natural defenses. Our planet is surrounded by the Van Allen radiation belts, zones of charged particles trapped by Earth's magnetic field. When nuclear weapons detonated in space, they supercharged these belts, injecting an intense burst of high-energy particles. This sudden surge created radiation hazards far beyond normal levels, making certain orbits extremely dangerous for satellites and astronauts alike. The increased radiation didn't just threaten space missions, it also disrupted satellite electronics, causing malfunctions and shortening their operational life. The amplified radiation belts became invisible barriers, forcing space agencies to rethink mission planning and spacecraft design. What was once a relatively safe zone for satellites turned into a hazardous no-go area, complicating everything from GPS navigation to scientific research in low Earth orbit. Nuking space didn't just scatter debris, it rewrote the rules of space safety, leaving a toxic legacy that still challenges us today. Radiation belts amplified. When the nuclear blasts echoed through space, they didn't just disrupt satellites, they tore apart the invisible threads that connect our world. Communication satellites orbiting Earth suddenly found themselves in a hostile environment, bombarded by debris and radiation. The fallout wasn't just about broken hardware, it was about a sudden blackout in the very signals that keep our modern lives ticking. GPS navigation faltered, leaving planes, ships, and even everyday drivers lost without their digital maps. Weather satellites struggled to relay critical data, blinding meteorologists and jeopardizing disaster warnings. The internet, reliant on a web of satellites, faced interruptions that rippled across continents. This wasn't a minor inconvenience, it was a global disruption that touched every corner of society. Businesses stalled, emergency services scrambled, and billions of people found themselves disconnected. The nuclear detonations in space had turned the sky into a chaotic battlefield, where the fallout wasn't just physical debris but a shattering of the communication lifelines we take for granted. Every message lost, every signal blocked, was a reminder of how fragile our connection to the cosmos really is. Communication breakdown. The decision to nuke space didn't just escalate tensions on Earth, it ignited a cosmic arms race that pushed humanity to the brink of interstellar conflict. Nations, alarmed by the new dangers in orbit, scrambled to develop weapons and defenses capable of surviving the debris storm and radiation hazards. What began as a show of technological might quickly spiraled into a dangerous game of brinkmanship. Satellites transformed from peaceful tools into potential weapons platforms, ready to disable rivals' assets at a moment's notice. The militarization of space introduced new risks, accidental collisions, miscommunications, and rapid escalation of conflicts beyond Earth's atmosphere. This new frontier of warfare threatened to unravel decades of fragile cooperation in space exploration and satellite management. The very act of nuking space shattered not only satellites but also the trust between nations, turning the cosmos into a high-stakes arena where every move could trigger devastating consequences. The fallout wasn't just physical, it was geopolitical. reshaping humanity's relationship with the final frontier in ways we are still grappling with today. Space militarization and escalation. Nuking space didn't just create chaos above us, it sent shockwaves down to Earth's atmosphere in ways few expected. The nuclear explosions near our planet released radioactive particles that didn't simply vanish into the void. Instead, these particles found their way into the upper layers of our atmosphere, mingling with natural elements and altering the delicate balance of our climate systems. This invisible fallout had the potential to disrupt weather patterns, possibly triggering unusual storms or shifts in temperature. Even more concerning was the increased radiation exposure that could reach the surface, posing health risks to living organisms. While space might seem distant and disconnected from daily life, these nuclear blasts proved that what happens above can have profound effects below. The atmosphere, our protective shield, was now contaminated in subtle but dangerous ways. This environmental ripple effect raised urgent questions about our responsibility to safeguard not just space, but the fragile ecosystems on Earth that depend on it. The legacy of nuking space was no longer confined to orbit, it was a threat that reached down to every breath we take. Environmental impact on Earth's atmosphere. The aftermath of nuclear detonations in space left scientists facing one of the most daunting challenges in modern history: how to clean up the ever-growing cloud of radioactive debris orbiting Earth. Traditional space cleanup methods, designed for small amounts of junk, were overwhelmed by the sheer volume and speed of fragments generated by the blasts. These shards of metal and plastic zipped through orbit at incredible velocities, making any attempt to capture or neutralize them extremely risky. The danger wasn't just to spacecraft but also to the very efforts aimed at cleaning up the mess. Innovative solutions had to be developed. Robotic nets, laser systems, and even magnetic fields were proposed to corral or vaporize debris. But the scale of the problem meant that no single technology could solve it alone. Scientists warned of the Kessler Syndrome, a scenario where collisions between debris create even more fragments, leading to a runaway chain reaction that could permanently block access to space. The cleanup effort became a race against time, with the future of satellite operations, space exploration, and even Earth's communications hanging in the balance. Nuking space had created a toxic legacy, and humanity was left scrambling to undo the damage before it was too late. The challenge of space cleanup. The nightmare of space debris isn't just about clutter, it's a ticking time bomb threatening humanity's future in orbit. After nuking space, the sheer volume of fragments created an unprecedented hazard, turning once clear orbital paths into chaotic fields of deadly shrapnel. Traditional cleanup methods quickly proved inadequate. Capturing or destroying tiny, fast-moving debris is like trying to catch bullets mid-air. Scientists warn of the Kessler Syndrome, a catastrophic chain reaction where collisions generate more debris, which then causes further collisions in a vicious cycle. If left unchecked, this could make low Earth orbit unusable for generations, cutting off satellite services that power everything from global communications to weather forecasting. The stakes are enormous. Our ability to launch new satellites, send astronauts to the International Space Station, or even explore deeper into space depends on solving this crisis. Innovative technologies are being developed, from robotic arms and nets to laser systems designed to vaporize debris, but the challenge remains daunting. The cleanup is not just a technical problem, it's a race against time and physics. Nuking space unleashed a legacy of destruction that demands global cooperation and groundbreaking innovation. The future of humanity's presence in space hinges on how quickly and effectively we can clear this deadly debris field before it spirals out of control. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the fallout of nuking space. If you found these facts eye-opening, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you never miss InnoVision Tech Update. We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts and questions in the comments below. What do you think is the biggest challenge humanity faces in space right now? Your insights could spark the next great conversation. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.